Hello, everyone. Semi-retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. What a special treat we have today. We have Claire from, I always have to look this up because it's a longer name. Beyond the Scale True Healing is her YouTube channel. If you haven't checked her out, you should, but go ahead and introduce yourself, Claire.
So I'm Claire, and basically, I have been carnivore for almost 2 years now. And why I did switch to carnivore is because I've been struggling with mental illness my entire life. I was struggling with eating disorder, restrictive eating disorder. So I was, in the very bad space for 3 decades. And long story short, I started being sick when I was around between 7 and 9 years old. It's not really well defined, but then it followed me my entire life. And I had a lot of traumas in my life, and I became sicker and sicker, and I was struggling with food all the time. I was always counting my calories, restricting a lot, over exercising, and I ended when I was 33 years old, dying for 6 minutes. At this time, I was in the wheelchair. I was tube fed. I didn't have any hair on my head because I lost everything. I didn't have any hormones. I was dying. I got a flu and it became a pneumonia. My body was not fighting anymore. And I died. At this time, I was totally vegan. And I have been vegan at this time for 5 years. And when I died, and at this time I was thinking that I was controlling the time I will die because I was really depressed, really anxious, and I was thinking about dying and one day decide to die. But at this time I didn't decide to die and I died. And I was like, oh, come on, you don't want to die. You're only 33 years old. And so at this time I reintroduced a little bit of meat, lean meat. I reintroduced dairy, zero fat yogurt. I was eating a very, very healthy diet on the standard diet principle. A lot of vegetables, tons of fruits, a little bit of lean meat, zero fats. And I recovered a little bit, but I was still really, really scared, still counting all my calories. And in 2021, after the big episode of the lockdown and everything, I say to myself, okay, come on, you're so depressed. And I was taking tons and tons of pills. I was up to 60 pills per day because of the supplement, all the antidepressant, all the sleeping pills. And I say, okay, you need to change something. And I was looking for nutrition because it was my day, like 24 hours a day I was thinking about food. And so I was looking for nutrition and I found out about the ketogenic diet. And I say, oh, that's fantastic. It looks like it improves a lot mental health. So maybe you should try ketogenic diet. But then looking at it, it was all about counting macros. And I've been spending my life counting calories. And I say, okay, this is not for you. You're really good at counting and you don't want to count anything. And looking at this keto diet, I went through some channel and I found out about the carnivore diet. And I decided that I wanted to give a try to carnivore diet, but I was so scared of the fat because I have not been eating fat for 3 decades. So I started for 3 months, what I call my rabbit starvation, eating only lean meat, only zero fat yogurt, but only animal product. But this I don't count as carnivore because I was feeling so bad. And after 3 months, I went on holidays with my son and my nieces. And I was in the States, you're at the beach, everyone enjoying everything, and you're on the sun, it's 95 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and you're wearing your big jacket and sweater because you're freaking cold. Why? Because you're so underweight and you cannot produce any energy to warm you up. And I was so frustrating looking at my son playing and my nieces in the sea and me just on the back and not doing anything. And I say to myself, okay, come on, today is the day you will stop surviving and you will start living your life. So give a try to this crazy carnivore diet and you don't have anything to lose. Your life is a nightmare and it can just get better. And at this point, I started a very high fat carnivore diet. And my life changed for the best.
Fantastic. So to continue on this same line of thought, can you go ahead and tell us how has your life changed? What things specifically have improved, and what things have not? Or do you have anything that hasn't improved yet?
Okay, so I would say that what has improved within 3 months with the help of my therapist, and I want to say that I needed my therapist to do this, but I was able to stop all psychiatric medication. And I have been under psychiatric medication for years and years and years. But within 3 months, slowly reducing the medication, I was out of this. I never had anxiety anymore. Okay, sometimes life is stressful and I have days where I'm a little bit more stressed than other, but zero need of medication. I'm not taking any supplement anymore. Zero supplement. I'm only eating the meat and the fat. I'm eating a lot of fat. And when I have, yes, episode in my life that are stressful, I'm like having a lot of fat because fat is calming me down. I think I can say this like this. Yeah. What else? I am able to go to the sea with my son and swim in the sea. I'm not feeling cold anymore. I'm feeling really warm and hot now. So I have in my back, you can see a pellet burner, but it was almost always off this winter. And now, even if it's not really hot outside, I need the AC because I'm hot. And so, yeah, this was amazing. When I started the high fat carnivore, I already recovered a bit. So I was not on the wheelchair anymore, but I was really weak. I was not able to walk a lot. Now I'm able to walk a lot. And I'm not doing it to lose calorie as I was doing over exercising in the past. It's just because I'm enjoying being outside and walking my dogs and being active. I can do whatever I want. I went back to the office. I'm working again. I have a very interesting job. I can do whatever I want with my son. My son is now growing up and he's a big fan of trampoline. And sometimes he's asking me just, okay, please, mom, can you come with me to do some trampoline with me? Yeah, no problem. I can just go. So now I don't have any boundaries in my life. So I can do honestly whatever I want. I gain lots of weight. I still want to gain weight because I still need some because I'm still very skinny. I'm in the normal range of the BMI, but in the low normal range. And even if in this community everyone is trying to lose weight most of the time, I'm still trying to gain, and it's very difficult to gain a lot of weight in carnivore. But I think carnivore will lead me to the weight I have to weight, and why I want to gain more, even if I'm feeling really good. It's just because some of my bones are still sharpening, and so when I'm doing roller coaster with my son, for example, sometimes it's a little bit painful for my butt. So I still need to gain a little bit of weight. But otherwise, of course, I'm not taking any sleeping pills anymore. I'm sleeping like a baby. Maybe in this low carb sphere, some people are saying that they don't need a lot of sleep, but I'm someone that needs a lot of sleep. And so I'm sleeping between 8 and 9 hours per day. But I need it. And if my body needs it, I'm giving this to my body. So yes, I'm a big sleeper. but I'm overactive all the day, working, taking care of my son, of my dog. So I think maybe that's why I need to rest. But yeah, I think carnivore brought my life back. And the best thing is, before I started, I was depressed. And now it's just happiness.
That is absolutely amazing because I know a few people that have been on the psychotropic drugs for an extended period of time, and that is a very hard thing to wean off of. And I am so happy that you've gotten through that. When you were first beginning to heal, can you describe what it was like mentally to get out of the wheelchair for the first time and actually start to walk again?
Wow. That was big. That was really big. The thing is that my health decreased slowly and slowly and slowly, and I did not realize it. I I was suffering from sarcopenia, so you lose all your muscles, and I didn't realize it. And little by little, I lost everything. So from one day when I wanted to go into my car, I was walking like trying to take some help on the walls, and I was sitting in my car, and then I was not able to put up my legs, so I have to carry my legs with my arm and to put them on the car. And it was like little by little, step by step, and then I ended in a wheelchair, and I was living in a house full of stairs and where nothing was adapted for someone in the wheelchair. And so it was like, okay, I arrived there and I didn't realize it. And when I was in the wheelchair, I was I was that depressed and with such a low mood that it was fatality. And I did not realize. And the first time I went on my feet, it was to walk in the hospital from my bed up to the main bathroom. And the nurse was saying, okay, you can do this. And she was really, really, really sweet because she was almost carrying me. But just being able to have some step, it's like, okay, maybe there is life somewhere and maybe I will be able to do this on my own. And I think it took me 3 weeks in the hospital to be able to walk the full corridor on my own without help. And it was just awesome. But I would say the best thing I got was I was able to see again. Because at one point I was that underweight that I lost all the fat from my optical nerve and I became blind for a full month. And this was the worst ever. And the day I was able to start seeing again was just like a resurrection.
That's absolutely amazing. So you died and you went blind. Um, but now you're back. You look fantastic, by the way. You say you're still trying to gain a little weight. What type of movement or exercise are you getting in to try and build your muscles back now that you're back to healthy?
So, most of my movement are my daily life movement because I am very active and I don't have too much time. I would love to do more resistance training, but I'm not used to it and it's painful. And I have been in pain for 3 decades and I don't want to to be in pain. And so I'm a bit lazy about doing resistance training. But now, just being carnivore and walking enough and doing my grocery with my pack of water, I'm lifting some stuff all the time when I'm cleaning my house, when I'm gardening, because I have a small yard, but I have to mow my grass and everything. So I'm doing movement and I have some muscles. But when I say I want to gain weight, I want to gain muscle, but I want to gain fat as well, because fat is not your enemy. And I'm a woman and I need to have some fat storage. So I will say that basically my best exercise is eating lots of food.
Excellent. Yes, eating lots of food is one of my favorite exercises too. I like that. But so do you plan on being carnivore forever, or are you working towards adding some foods back in? I know that you do like cheese because you're in France and they have really good cheese over there. Um, but are there other things that you're looking to try and add back in, or are you going to basically be strict carnivore forever?
So I will turn 2 years carnivore in something like 2 weeks. And I think I healed a lot, a lot. And like if you were asking me this question 3 months ago, I would have answered you, no, I will stay strict carnivore for my entire life. But currently, I have been speaking with a lot of doctors that are mental health experts. And being in ketosis is fundamental for mental health. When you have a past of mental illness, staying in ketosis is fundamental. But you can be in ketosis, and my body is so well responding. So I'm really happy with this. So even eating lots of dairy, drinking raw milk, I'm always in ketosis. Even if I am having days when I'm eating tons of meat and not, okay, not, I cannot say not too much fat, but I'm eating like 3 or 4 pounds of meat, this will never put me out of ketosis. So now that I've been eating for a while, I'm thinking about reintroducing some food. Why? Because I want to find the balance about enjoyment and social life and diet. And currently, I'm switching my position in my office, and I will be out much more, and so I will have more opportunities to eat outside and to socialize. And so I'm thinking about, yeah, maybe try sometimes a side dish. I will always stay low carb and ketogenic, but I'm thinking about reintroducing a little bit of a little something once in a while, not every day, not when I'm at home alone or at home with my son, but yeah, occasionally, why not? But what I can say is up to now, I never had a cheat meal. So since I started the high fat carnivore diet, I never eat anything else than meat and fat.
One other quick topic that I wanted to hit with you here. You said that you there for a while you were eating very lean meat, and then you finally made the switch to high fat carnivore. How did that transition go for you? Did you have any problems, and do you still have any problems or not with the fat? Because I know a lot of people that did not eat fat have end up with an aversion to fat, and they have a hard time adjusting to it. But did you have any problems with that?
Okay. What I want to say today is that most of the people that are not handling the fat is just because their brain are saying that they are fearing the fat, and that's why they cannot handle the fat. I didn't eat any fat for 3 decades. For one day to another, I start eating fat as crazy, because when I started eating the fat, my body was just asking for more and more and more. I never had any diarrhea. I was able to digest the fat perfectly. My body was not trained at all. I never had to take ox bile. I never had to take anything. I think if you really decide that you want the fat and your brain is okay with this, you won't be struggling with the fat. But a lot of people struggling with the fat is because their brain is washed by the idea that fat will make you fat, and they are scared. And if you're scared about the food you're eating, you won't be reacting well with it. When I was carnivore at the beginning, even up to the middle of my journey, I was seeing all these video about dairy, and each time I was I was looking at those videos saying, yeah, dairy are making you bloated and everything. Each time I was eating cheese, I felt bloated. Why? Because I was fearing the dairy. So eating the dairy, I was already, is something happening to your body? Or maybe you're not reacting well and blah, blah, blah. But that was just my brain saying this. It was just my brain saying, be careful, the dairy, they are evil and you can have side effect and everything. But as soon as I start having a good relationship with dairy, I'm able to eat 2 pounds of cheese in one sitting and I'm not bloated at all. Okay, it's a little bit constipated, but okay, there is nothing about bloating, Maybe I will skip one day going to the toilets, but so I think all these people being scared of the fat cannot handle the fat. So, yeah, I think that's my reply.
So this is the point of the interview where if there's anything I have forgotten to ask you or anything you want to say to my audience while you have their attention, the floor is yours. I just open it up and take however long you like to say whatever it is you'd like to say to my audience.
Okay, I have a couple of things to say. First, what I want to say is carnivore is not a weight loss diet. Carnivore is a weight optimization diet. So, what will be your weight being carnivore? You cannot know it. If you want to weigh 120 pounds, but this is not a healthy weight and it's not the weight you should weight, you won't get there. Carnivore is the diet that will bring you to your optimal health, and your optimal health is not having a six-pack, is not being bodybuilding, it's just being healthy. And so it's not about reaching a number on the scale. That's why my channel is called Beyond the Scale, because I've been so focused on numbers for so many years, and being just not focusing on numbers, it's fantastic. And yeah, I want to still gain weight, but I don't know how much I will gain. I don't know if it will be 10 pounds, 20 pounds. I'm sure that I will never be overweight eating only carnivore food. I'm totally convinced about this. And this is really, really important. This is something that it's mandatory for the audience to know that, yeah, you cannot have the one goal about one number, because if it's not your optimal health, it will be very difficult to keep this weight and you will be fluctuating. You will have to count too much and everything. So then we speak about counting. And I think that for 95% of the people, you don't need to count anything. You need just to eat the meat, eat the fat up to fullness. And when you're hungry again, you have to eat again. And if you're not hungry, you don't have to eat. So you don't want to complicate stuff too much. If you want to start this diet, just eat the meat, eat the fat. And each time you're craving something, eat the meat and eat the fat. And don't fear the fat, don't fear the protein. Both are so important. And so don't try to stick to a ratio. And carnivore has been made very complicated, but carnivore is very simple. I don't say that carnivore is easy, but I say that carnivore is simple. Carnivore is just about eating meat and fat. For some people, it's not easy, it's difficult to sustain it, but it's simple. So don't try to overthink it. Other thing I have to say is that there are a lot of people here trying to sell you programs for you to be fixed in 30 days. Healing takes time. You won't be fixed in 30 days. If people are selling you a program to be fixed in 30 days, they are just stealing your money. Don't pay for it. It's fake. Nobody can fix his health in 30 days. So healing takes time. You have to be patient. And yeah, just trust the process. You will get there. I have a lot of things to say. I want to say as well that carnivore is not a miracle. So I needed the help of my doctors to get off medication. And this was really, really important. And I'm still seeing my doctors. And I never take medical advice from someone who does not know me and that is not a doctor. So be really careful about who you're following and what you hear about. And before stopping anything, go to see your doctor, because this is dangerous. Maybe, yes, maybe we didn't need the medication, but we have been on medication. And to stop it, you cannot do it on your own. So really go to your doctor and ask. This is very important. Another thing I want to say, a lot of people are trying to sell you programs, but they are as well trying to sell you supplements. They are trying to sell you red light therapy. They are trying to sell you home saunas. They are trying to sell you tons and tons of things. To be healthy, you don't need all this. What you need is to eat the meat and the fat, is to do some movements. And you can do movement without taking a gym membership. You can do movement in your garden or on the street or wherever you want. And you need the sun. So you need just to go outside. And all these, they are all free. So just if you want to be healthy, it's not costing a lot. You can do a cheap carnivore diet, eating only ground beef and eggs and butter. And the more fat you eat, the cheaper it is. So I'm really advocating for high fat because it's cheap and easy. And yeah, just eat the meat, eat the fat, move a little bit, take the sun, and sleep. And that's all you need. So take it simple, be careful about what you're thinking, what you're watching, and don't listen to everything, and don't get overwhelmed by all the information. Take the time watching all this information just to do some movement, to rest, to cook some good food, and that's it. I think, yeah, that's all the message I want your audience to listen to, because, yeah, carnivore is simple and it's affordable for everyone. And health is the goal. Health has to be the only goal. And yeah, my last thing will say, there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. Before I let you go, be sure and tell my audience where they can find you. Tell us all about, I'm sure you've got a YouTube channel. And if you have Instagram or Facebook or any of the other things that you'd like them to know about, go ahead and tell us where to find you.
So basically, where I'm the most active is on YouTube. So my channel is called Beyond the Scale Through Healing. And yeah, you can just reach out to me there. You can comment one of my video. I will always answer the comments. Okay, if I'm busy, it may take a couple of days, but most of the time I'm answering the comments. And if I don't answer your first one, just reach out again. Otherwise, you can find me on Instagram. My name is Loli Carney. Why? Because I started my Instagram when I started my journey, and I didn't know what to expect, and I was scared about this. And so I used Loli, who is the name of my dog, and Carney for carnivore. And so this is my Instagram. But basically on my Instagram, I just put the link to my videos on the YouTube. So mostly reach out to me on YouTube. And I think that's it for the social media. I don't have too much time to stick to social media, and I much prefer to take a good book and to read on my sofa than spending time on the screen. So I'm already on the screen on my office job, so it's enough. So yeah, is where you can reach out to me.
Fantastic. Okay, everyone, don't forget, get down in the comments. Say thank you to Claire for being with us today, because everybody's time is valuable. But don't forget, folks, get out there, be 1% better today, tomorrow, every day. Have a great day, folks. I will see you in the next one.